Hey guys, welcome to an exciting Monday episode here on my channel. So things are going to be a little bit different because if you may notice, this video on Monday is actually a haunt vlog, but I'm nowhere near Knott's Berry Farm. That is because for this particular episode of the haunt vlogs, I wanted to sit down with you guys and talk about creating a character for a haunt attraction like Knott's Berry Farm's Halloween Haunt. So you may be asking yourself, why would you want to create a character, or what's the point in creating a character? You're just pretty much putting on a costume, putting on a makeup or mask, going into some creepy place and scaring people. But that's where the problem comes in. Obviously you are scaring and you're representing a theme for a maze. Now that maze can obviously be anything that you can think of, so like for instance, Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy obviously is the story of what happens when evil children attempt to stay awake to see the Tooth Fairy, only to find that they are going to be bludgeoned in the head and become the Tooth Fairy's minions. You can play this off in a couple different ways. So I'm going to tell you exactly how I came up with my character from Haunt and inspirations and things like that. So when I first got my role in Tooth Fairy, all I knew was that it was a dead twin, it was a makeup spot, and he would essentially be a victim character. So you could play this a couple different ways. Now again, regarding in the realm of Tooth Fairy, in this maze, there's a couple different ways of playing this. Obviously you're going to have characters who are victims or kids themselves having to handle being tortured by the Tooth Fairy, or you can have Tooth Fairy's minions, or you can have people living in our world, our Earth, who then don't know any better, but then will eventually figure it out. So when I was told that I was playing a victim character, I then started to put off in my head, okay, well what kind of victim do I want to play? So this is where, or how am I going to create this character? Now this is where your environment, your world that you inhabit comes into play, because it's really easy, because all you have to do is look around you. Now, as some of you may know, I happen to work at Disneyland with a lot of kids, and chances are these kids get lost every now and then. Well then, you start to watch. I notice that every time a child gets lost, especially the younger ones, and I've actually gone through this before, where they will scream, cry, freak out, run, and scream, "Mama, I'm lost, help me, I don't want to be lost, I want to go home," things like that. So it quickly fired in my head, that is how I should play the character. But then, for some reason I got this other idea in my head is, well what if they're actually like, I was actually told by a friend, I'm not going to state who, that the characters that are actually, from what they've heard, is the characters are actually, the twins specifically, are trying to actually steal people's teeth to get more money from the Tooth Fairy. So then I started to figure out, okay, well, if that's the case, then maybe it needs to be more, show me your teeth, give me your teeth, I want your teeth, and some things like that. I actually had a line that I was thinking in my head that would be, I would like to sit on your face so I could rip the teeth out of your mouth. Yeah, that was a little, yeah. So kept with this idea in my head. Well then, comes time to scare school, and this is the part where you have to now really figure out your character. All the way down to the walk, how you're going to walk through the maze when you need to get out, especially for breaks and things like that. Well, that is where Scare School comes into play, because you're working with the designers themselves who have created these characters, so you have to figure out from them what they are. So he did in fact state, so Daniel Miller did in fact state that it is actually a victim character. So the child came back into play, but there is actually one other source of my inspiration for these characters. In fact, I'm going to show you in 3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir. I want to go home to my mama. Please, I don't want to be a junkie. Let me out of here.
Oh, I've been double-crossed. Help! Help! Somebody help! I've been framed. Help! Please, you gotta help me. Be a pal. Call that beetle. Call anybody.
yeah, pretty much that's how I'm playing it. Because obviously that is like the most demented scene you could ever think of, because it's pretty fucking weird. Like, for boys who smoke and drink to then become donkeys out of nowhere. It's a weird transformation, so I feel like it definitely, I'm using it to my advantage, which I'm really proud about, I'm very happy about. Alright, so here's some tips as to better create your character. Number 1, know your environment. Kind of a dead given. Number 2, know what kind of character you are playing in the maze. Makes sense, right? Number 3, create something for this character that will definitely give it life. Whether it's a specific type of voice, whether it's a type of walk, if he's got any twitches, things like that. Create something that is going to be unique to your character to give it a personality or life. Number 4 is having lines for yourself. Now obviously the Twitch, it'll match with the Twitch and everything, but if you have lines that are specific to what your character is feeling at that very moment, go for it. And number 5 is don't get too in depth with it, meaning, did this kid, like, what was his home life like? What is he, you know, is he homeless? Has he been sick? Don't get too far, because the more you think about it and the more in depth you try to go, the more you're gonna get, the more that character is gonna get too lost, and you're not gonna be able to really dig, you're not gonna be able to get yourself out of the hole you've dug yourself, aka the character hole. It's as easy as that. Remember, know your environment, have twitches for yourself, be able to think of some lines or something that will help influence the character, and do not go too far in depth with it. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tiny little tidbit of Haunt vlog. By the time you're watching this, I am probably already at work, or just getting ready for it. Or if you're watching this later in the evening on Monday night, I will probably be at dress rehearsal for Haunt, so chances are I am probably vlogging for it. So with that particular video, you'll probably not see it until maybe Thursday. And that's because I have the day off and I can be able to figure some shit out. So thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you like what you see. Again, share it with all your friends. If you haven't seen any of the previous Haunt vlogs yet, please go ahead and on the end slate, I will include a playlist for you. If you guys haven't seen The Chain, I know I've been promoting that shit like crazy, but if you haven't seen it yet, again, check the end slate. Make sure you click on the face at the end slate if you'd like to subscribe, if you haven't subscribed to me already. Thank you guys so much, and remember, big cake.